Hey everybody. So, originally this was going to be an indie zombie review video, but I've decided that that's not going to happen. I've canceled that because, well, two conditions. One, said video game that I was going to review, I couldn't finish. In fact, gave up on playing and just was not enjoying entirely. And this is a game I've actually talked about with a couple of friends of mine. And it's a little indie game called Elliot Quest. It's on the Wii U. It's also on Steam. I was playing it on the Wii U. And it goes for about $12. On Steam, it's about $2 less. And I've been going back and forth about how I wanted to do a video on it, because I wanted to talk about it, because I was not enjoying it. I was really not liking it at all. And I was working on the review video. And then I hit a lot of stumbling blocks. Though I thought I had recorded everything that I was playing through, I couldn't find the right footage that I needed in order to express everything that I was talking about. Like how every time you get a power-up, you would just hit another wall, and though I know this happened to me several times, I couldn't find any of the proper footage. And I have recorded probably about 5 hours or so of gameplay, but I couldn't find it, and I went through everything. So either some of it got lost, or some of it I just didn't record because I didn't feel like it, and then, oh boy. And I wasn't sure about trying to do a review, because if you're going to review something, you have to have played all of it. You know, it's like if you do a movie review on a movie that you haven't seen, you know, and you're just talking about it and giving your thoughts on it when you haven't seen it, so you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You know, and I was given the advice on the fact that if you do plan to review a video game, you should play all of it. And that is a good philosophy to go by, especially if you're wanting to talk about the whole thing, you know, plot, story, and characters, and game development, and such. But you run into a problem of, what if you're just really not enjoying the game? Well, then in some cases, someone would say, then don't do a review on it. But the reason that you're not enjoying it is because the game is not good. It's not. I mean, it's not enjoyable. Now that's not to say this game is not enjoyable. Or, well, I didn't find it enjoyable. It's fully functional and it works just fine. The problem I kept on running into, and what really drove me nuts about it, was that this game was very obtuse with how it worked. The game doesn't do a very good job of telling you a lot of what's going on, or why you're doing what you're doing, or anything, really. Hell, first special item that I got, which was a magical tornado that I got after beating a boss who used said magical tornado, because this game borrows a lot of elements from other older games. It's a retro throwback, and it borrows a lot from Zelda 2 and Metroid, and a little bit of Dark Souls, because every time you die, you lose XP. Yeah. So I got this magical tornado, but it didn't tell me what it did. And then through experimentation, because the game doesn't tell you anything, eventually you learn that you can use it to traverse through those green mossy things that you see all throughout the game. You can use it to traverse through those. You can also use it against enemies to stun them. And then if you come across these giant chasm areas with a big old whirlwind, you can use the tornado to float up through it, which is handy. But then, a lot like Zelda 2, you run into a lot of these special items that you pick up that only have one real usage. Like the first early power-up that you get is a candle, but all it does is it lights these little torches in these caves, but they only stay temporarily lit until later on when you get the fire spell ability that will light these giant torches, and they stay permanently lit, which renders your candle useless by that point. It also has kind of the same level up system, a lot of the same side-scrolling and even overworld elements of Zelda 2. But the game also does this very weird jarring thing where it has a really dark story to it, but then a lot of the other elements to it are very light. Like whenever you go into town, you know, some people have some, you know, cute little gaming references, that they'll go back to, referencing Zelda and such. And, the music is very light and upbeat. Like, for example, early on in this game, for the story elements, and the story elements, they kind of just come and go like as you're playing, where you're wandering around at one point, and then you get a flashback where your character is talking about somebody that they lost, somebody that they loved, though they're not really sure if this person really died or just left, and your character is apparently sick and has been for a while, and he's running through a forest, and he's saying to himself, how can I go on when every single day I seem to get worse and worse? And then he's standing at the edge of a cliff, and then he says, why don't I just jump? Oh yeah, that's right, because I'm too much of a coward too. What the fuck, game? Really? And at no point does this game ever seem like it's that dark of a game at all. Wow, game. And my problem with it was that I would always hit a wall because I was always punished for exploring. And part of this game is that it's semi-open world, but every time that you get a power-up that would allow you to traverse an area, you'd find another spot where you just hit another damn wall because you don't possess something that would allow you to get beyond this point. And then what was your reward after you finally get over that hurdle? Maybe a magic upgrade for your magic meter, maybe a health upgrade, maybe some more money, but money didn't really come into effect for me until quite a bit later into the game, when you get to a second town that introduces armor and weapon upgrades. Not even in the first town do you get any sort of hint that there are any armor or weapon upgrades. Though you would think there would be, considering how odd the level up system is. And that's another thing. The level up system just feels sort of shoved in. It feels like it doesn't really even belong, because your character doesn't really get stronger, at least not in a typical fashion. Your strength just affects how far your arrows will shoot. Your agility affects how many arrows you'll shoot at a time. And then you have an accuracy that increases your critical, but critical is so damn random that it's almost unnecessary. And then you have other abilities where enemies will either drop more hearts or more magic points to a point where when you level that up enough, you can just automatically regain health or automatically regain magic. So why even buy potions then for your magic or for your health? I mean, I can understand only how in some boss fights that would be necessary, but the boss fights in this game are practically so laughably easy. I mean, the levels in of themselves are pretty damn hard, but the boss fights are actually pretty damn easy. See, and again, my biggest problem with this game was that I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't having any fun. I just kept hitting more walls and more roadblocks, and I just got more frustrated and more bored to a point where I just didn't care anymore. So I just quit and turned it off and then deleted it off of my Wii U. From some of the reviews I've read on Steam, there were quite a few people who liked it, but for everybody who disliked it, they said, for a lot of the exact same reasons I did, that this game punishes you for exploration, and you clearly have to. Hell, that's the way any of that type of game works. You have to explore. And the fact that it takes you so damn long to get your first real power-up, and the first real power-up I got was a shield, at least as far as I can remember, and yeah, whoop-de-doo, I can now protect myself against projectiles. That was about it. And even then, it was another hour until I got my double jump ability, which does help you out a lot more, and so on and so on. And then items don't really tell you what they do, nor do magical items. Hell, you don't even find out. The game doesn't even tell you where your house is. I had to figure that out on my own, because there's no sign out in front of a place that tells you that this is your home, and anybody in there doesn't tell you that this is your home. I just figured that out. And I say that because you get some particular items that when you get them, tells you it's at your house. But it doesn't tell you where your house is. And then for getting other items that are in town, like if you want to buy more bombs, you're going to have to get that double jump ability because you can't reach the ladder that will take you to the bomb item shop. And then a character that you're doing a quest for disappears randomly. Like he's there, and then one day he's not, and then he's not, and then he's there. It took me forever to accomplish that quest because I couldn't find him. Because he just disappeared, and then he finally reappeared. And this game just had me frustrated. I wasn't enjoying it. And I was debating about, well, can I really do a proper review of a game that I haven't really finished? And so I was debating about doing a podcast discussion. So I talked to my buddy QuickKick about, do you have any interest in trying to buy this on Steam, and then maybe you could play it for like a week, and then we could talk about it? You know, just to get a different opinion about it, or see if there was anybody else who saw maybe some of the same flaws that I did, or heller, I hit up my buddy Luke about it, and really haven't heard back. He did say that the only thing that he had heard about it was that it was supposed to be a really good game. And I had asked him, well, would you have any interest in actually maybe buying it off of Steam and playing it and then telling me, you know, what you think about it, and then maybe we could have a discussion about it? No. Apparently I'm the only one. And I didn't like it. So, but yeah, so there won't be any review for it, and which kind of sucks because my buddy QuickKick went and did me up a piece of cover art for it. Maybe I'll still use it, and I'll just change it up a little bit with just, you know, vlog discussion on it. We'll see. But other than that, I do have a lot more plans for more indie zombie videos and Let's Plays and stuff like that. So, and my sister and I are going to see about trying to finish up our Let's Play of Zelda tomorrow. Well, the time that I'm recording this, it will be tomorrow when we get to work on that. And I do have the Let's Play for Elliot Quest. It's just one part, and I'll probably post that either the next day or in a few days along with this eventually. Personally, though, I think $12 to $10 is a little bit too much for a game like this, but I mean, I kind of think it might have been a better idea to sell it for $5 or so. I don't know. I mean, mostly, I really didn't like it, and I really was not enjoying it the more I played it. I was just getting more and more and more frustrated. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.